Do you hoard yarn? Cause same. But that's not my only problem. I also hoard patterns and I don't use them. I use my yarn a lot more than I use my pattern books. I have my comfort patterns that I just use, and it's probably the same 20 to 30 patterns, and these just take up a bunch of space. No, this is not all of them. I have a huge stack and it's way too heavy to actually carry. I have a ton of books, and then I have 3 very large binders full of printed patterns. Like I got patterns. Where? Oh, that wasn't satisfying at all. We're set. And I just keep getting more because all of you pattern creators are so talented and I just want to try everything. But in order to try everything, I kind of actually need to crochet it and not just look at it and go, ooh, pretty. So in this video, we're going to be doing a pattern busting. So I am going to spin a wheel that has all of my pattern books listed on that wheel, same with my binders full of the patterns, and from there it will bring me to a spreadsheet that shows me how many patterns are in that book or binder, and once we generate that number, it'll tell me what pattern I get to work on. In doing this, I'm hoping that maybe I get to donate one of these pattern books, or probably more than one, because honestly I don't think I will be using all of them. I collected them. I got most of them from a Facebook Marketplace purchase, and this woman was cleaning out her mom's old craft room and just sold a bunch of crochet patterns for $100. So I have things like this first crochet pattern book, and I don't even know if I like the style. So if I don't like it, I will get rid of it. I will either sell it, or if I could get enough subscribers and followers, I could do a giveaway, and that would be awesome. But I don't want them collecting dust on my shelves. I would love for someone else to use them and enjoy them. So that's my end goal for this project. Enough babbling, let's spin the wheel for the first time. As I get used to filming all of this, there will be times where I've lost some footage, and today seems to be one of those days. So I spun the wheel for my first pattern. That is there. And this is the book that I forgot to show. And we got the number, I think 15? I don't know. Either way, it brought me to the cylinder body with deep pocket underbite and no legs, since this is one of the books where it goes by body parts. So you'll be able to go all these different body options and then add on arms, legs, teeth, hair, antennae. I was supposed to get the cylinder body and I just didn't get any footage of that, but on to the next clip. Okay, it is safe to say that this is not working, so I'm going to scrap the monster one. This is just an entire skein of Big Twist plush, and this is just too big, and it has this weird doubling up. So you do front loops only for this part, and then you chain 13 to go back down into the back loops, and then you crochet up. But with this being a size 6 yarn, it's super thick, and that is just going to make stuffing it a little challenging. So I'm gonna scrap this. So unfortunately that spinner was a fail. It happens, but at least I tried it. I will eventually use this book sometime, but we're going to spin the wheels again and determine what else I can try to work on. First, we spin the wheel to decide our pattern book, and for this one, we will be using the Mabel Bunny & Co. book. Now, I also have a spreadsheet to tell me how many patterns are in it. Another piece of footage that I lost. R.I.P. My Mabel Bunny & Co. pattern book is this one, and they use all like wool yarn in this. For my pattern generator, I got the 7th pattern, which is this octopus pattern. I am going to do him, or did him, since this is future me talking. I did him in Big Twist Posh. Been able to film in a few days, but I got all of the tentacles done, and now the last part of this project is to crochet the underbelly side and stuff it, and then embroider the eyes and obviously tie in the ends. But 8 tentacles done. These bobble stitches kind of hurt my wrists, so I had to take many breaks. I definitely lucked out. This whole octopus took one skein of Baby Bear Big Twist in, I think it was called Wisteria, but it's the purple blue one. And then for the white, I'm using the vanilla cake in Baby Bear as well, and this is all that I have left, so I'm pretty sure that can cover the underbelly, but that was my one and only skein, so that was a risk that I took. But I think I can finish it today, because today is Wednesday, December 2nd. Yeah. No, December 3rd. Wednesday, December 3rd, and it's like 9 a.m. So we're going to finish this guy up and then spin the wheels again and see if we can finish a second project today, or if we're gonna have another one of the big guys to do. first pattern buster was our little octopus from Mabel Bunny & Co. And in the picture that they had, they didn't give theirs a mouth, but I thought he was a little weird to not have a mouth. So we have all 8 tentacles, and then we finished the underside. I made sure to embroider the eyes just like how they had. I think this would be a great little like baby toy. My daughter was already trying to steal each tentacle and kind of like drag it across the room. So I think it'd be a hit. I am going to probably sell this guy for $50, $52, because he's on the larger side. It did take me like 4 days to complete him. Don't ask me hours. I go based off of days. And the blue part took a whole skein and like a smidge of another skein. And then the white part took the majority of another skein. So that's already $20 in materials, not including tax and stuffing. So yeah, I think $52 is honestly a steal for him compared to other crochet artists' prices. I don't really make much of a profit off of my craft just because it is a hobby. The whole purpose I started this business was actually so that I could fund my hobby and that my husband didn't have to pay for it, because I am a stay-at-home mom and we live on one income for 3 people, now soon to be 4. So my yarn addiction and crocheting, that's not on our list of essentials. So I just sell my craft so that I can purchase new yarn and things for myself. Our next pattern book is gonna be the Long-Legged Friends pattern book. And this one only has 8 patterns in it, actually. So we'll just pop over to our number generator and it'll pick out our pattern for us. And we got number 1. So from that generator, we got our Long-Legged Friends book. And to be honest, I don't enjoy this one. I think they're very strange looking, not my style. But when I opened the book, it was very clear to me that I would not be trying any of these patterns. So this is going to be my first pattern book that we actually give away, because I opened this up and I don't have the patience for that. That is a headache. You have a 1-year-old that likes to run around, and I can't keep track of all these symbols. There's a reason I don't do graphs and stuff like that. So this will be a giveaway, some sort of style of rehoming, whether it's a giveaway via online or I just donate it to a thrift store, because this also has a lot of writing in it. I got this part of a Facebook marketplace buy where this woman was cleaning out her mom's craft room. I don't know if I've said this earlier in the video or not, but her mom wrote in almost every pattern book that I got. But this is the first one that is going. Now on to our next pattern busting. We're getting Mary Maxim Kitchen and Bath Favorites. And in this one, this pattern book or pamphlet only has 12 patterns. And after I generate, we're going to get pattern number 9. So this is the little pamphlet type thing. It's a very short book and it's all out of scrubby yarn. After spinning the wheel and getting this Mary Maxim kitchen and bath favorites, I thought some of these were just like out of cotton yarn, but it is actually all made out of the Scrub It yarn, which I refuse to use due to like just sensory stuff. Like, does not sound appetizing to touch. So this is also going to be a go away pattern book, which means out of all of our pattern books we've gotten rid of 2. But now we get to spin the wheel again, and I'm really excited to see what we end up getting. I'm really hoping that this pattern is one that we can actually complete and I'm not just tossing the pattern book. But we got Zumagurumi 7 and I'm optimistic for this one. This pattern book has 15 patterns in it, and for this one we'll be working on pattern 14. That means we're going to be doing the Lucky the Stork pattern that's here. And I think I'll be able to do this. So my issue with pattern books like Zumagurumi and Amigurumi Treasures, and one of the bigger reasons why I haven't used these patterns is because when I make them out of the yarn that I'm used to, like Burnett Blanket, Big Twist Plush, or even Big Twist Posh, they come out ginormous. Like huge. These guys are only supposed to be yay big. And I was trying to make a seal one and it was just huge. Which isn't exactly a problem. I already have a lot of larger items and I'm trying to make a few like $20, $15 items, and if it's used an entire skein for just the body, not even any accents or arms, that's very hard to just charge $15 because I do want to be paid a little bit for my time. But this guy looks like he's doable in Big Twist Posh, because if I'm really looking at it, here, let me grab the one So this guy is all the way around, he's 48. And the biggest that the stork gets is 54 around. So his head will be a little bigger than this, but for the most part, he'll be tall. So I think the stork will still be a pretty decent size. And I think I have enough white that I can do that. We'll see how that goes. I don't think this is actually one that I will scrap because he looks cute and I think I can do him. I don't know if I want to do just the black eyes or if I want to give him a little more character and use the sinker eyes that have the pupils, but we shall see. This one's gonna take me probably the same amount of time that the octopus did. Right now, this is how far we've gotten on the head. So I don't think it's gonna be too bad of a size. Hey, I need that. Thank you. I have not filmed in probably a week, which isn't great, but let me catch you up on the stork project because I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping to get him done by this weekend, and it's Wednesday. I only have like 2 more things to crochet. So this is his head. And then we've got the body. The proportions are going to be interesting. And then I've got the 2 legs. I have all 6 toes made And then we've also got one of his wings started. So today's plan is to finish the last wing. And then from that, oh, I also did the beak. It's somewhere in my bag. Here. The beak is done. So once the wing is done, I just have the baby bundle, and I think we decided on doing a yellow baby bundle to keep it gender neutral. It was either yellow or green, so I think I'm gonna do the yellow one. But that is our progress for right now. I finally put the stork all together and he is now completed. Tell me he is not adorable. You can't. You absolutely cannot. He's the best thing I've made so far. I don't know about that, but best baby safe item I've made so far. His legs are so silly. He just sits on a shelf and he watches. Obviously he's like a little floppy, but I couldn't really stuff him too much or else the stuffing would go through the stitches. And I didn't want to put like a rod or anything in there to stabilize his head because obviously it's for a baby. But I'm super happy with the size and how fast and easy it was to make him. The hardest part would have probably been just the toes and then sewing it on, because I don't know if you can see it, but this yarn is more textured than the white and black. It wasn't a terrible skein of yarn. It was just maybe I don't want to say crusty, but it definitely wasn't as plush as the other skeins of yarn I have in my collection or stash. But I'm going to spin the wheel again and do one more pattern for this video, just so that I'm not biting off more than I can chew. So let's see what we end up getting. We ended up rolling a 13, which means we're doing this rhinoceros right here. And his legs don't look too bad. He only has like a width of 21 stitches for his legs, but his head's gonna be the big thing that I'm a little worried about, because obviously I don't want to use my, small yarn to create a ginormous plushie that probably won't sell, but I think he's doable. I'm gonna try to do him in a big twist posh and see how that turns out. In the book he's gray, but I wonder if I could do like a steel gray, like a bluish gray. Maybe that will work better. I'm gonna go down into my deep dark yarn storage and see what kind of colors I have. I'll be right back. So I think I'm going to use this Earl Grey in Big Twist Posh. I have 3 skeins of it, and I just checked Michael's and Hobby, whatever you want to pronounce their website as, and it looks like they have some other like light gray silver colors that I can replace my stash with, and that's what I was really concerned about, because obviously this yarn isn't coming back. So also already started crocheting. I forgot to film the first part of it, but we're doing that top down, so this will be the crown of his head where the ears are gonna be sewn on, and then it goes out to his snout where the horns are gonna be. And I think this is an interesting way of going about a pattern. I am definitely learning a lot more skills by doing this pattern busting challenge, so I'm excited to see how he turns out. I'm a little more confident now that we've started, but we'll see. So last night I was able to finish the head of the rhino. I know it looks a little wonky, but that's because his ears aren't made and the 2 horns aren't. And we've moved into the shirt color. And in that, I'm just using the Posh Pearl in Loops and Threads. Honestly, having them side by side, they're pretty similar, although Big Twist Posh is, I guess, squishy. Big Toast Posh is like more squeezy. I'm not great with descriptors. But we've got this all done and stuffed, and I'm going to continue on today doing that. I did end up finishing my first ever skein of 2026. Obviously it was like a scrap, but I don't put the skein tags in my, I guess, collection of tags for the year until all of the yarn is used. And I'm using this cardboard box that I got from Hinge Health to just keep my tags in until I have a nicer bag made. Maybe I'll sew one. That could be a cool little challenge for me because I suck at sewing. Now on to seeing if I can finish this guy today. It'd be really great if I could. He's pretty easy. I mean, looks pretty easy. His head just goes right into his body. And then arms, horns, ears. For this one, I am also staying with the trend of embroidering the eyes. So obviously he doesn't have eyes right now. He will have eyes after everything is sewn on. What I've noticed with this pattern busting challenge is that it is helping me a ton by creating baby friendly items for customers. So I have the octopus and the stork that I did previously, and then in my inventory before starting this challenge I had a baby safe triceratops, and then from there I only had turtles that didn't have eyes. So it'll be nice to have a selection of baby friendly items for customers to like go through, so it's not just turtles or a triceratops. But enough chit chat, let me try to really lock in. yesterday I was able to get the whole body done, and I just finished up one of the arms. It looks cute. And I have the 2 horns done along with the 2 ears. So all that's left is to finish this arm and then the cheeks and his clothes. So honestly, for this being like, it's only been 3 days of this project and I've gotten farther in it than I have in most of my projects. So I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this week. It's Monday right now. So hopefully by Thursday, it'll all be sewn together and done. But I'm going to finish this arm tonight. It's 10:30. I will check in tomorrow if I have a chance to sit down and crochet. So we have the whole body done. All of the ears, horns, arms are now completed. I have to sew this together, but if you can tell, I don't know if you remember from when I showed you the pattern book, but the pattern itself actually had him wearing a white shirt and then striped pants. And I did a little bit of a different color work for him because I want to do the embroidered eyes to make him like baby friendly or baby safe. And I thought it would just be pretty cute to make him look like he was wearing a onesie. So I tried my best to do some color work, and I'm not going to be too picky about it because the reality of having kids is when you have them walking around in a onesie and their diaper, like when they turn around and you look at their bottoms, sometimes it's up their butt crack. So it's not always uniform. So I think I'm just gonna leave it and let it be because I'm also crocheting clothes for this guy. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be for a boy or a girl, so I want to keep it pretty gender neutral because I'm only making one of him or one of them. But I'm working right now on overalls. I don't want to do just pants because they risk sliding down. So I'm going to do a thing of overalls so that they can go over, and I'll even make the buttons functional. So that's the big hope. So I right now have some worsted weight yarn that I'm working on crocheting the leg portion of the overalls. Once that's done, I'm going to crochet up into like just a little square, and I might embroider a mushroom onto that front part. And I thought about possibly using from my W.I.P.S wall, I thought about using maybe like a granny square that I've already created and adding to that to give them like a second outfit. But I think that might be too much, and then I would feel like charging more for it, and he's already going to be pretty expensive on my table anyway, just because of the size of him. And he did take an entire skein and a little extra of Big Twist Earl Grey in Posh. So I have one official skein all completed in 2026, and it's not even a week into January. So I think that's pretty cool. So I was able to finish the rhinoceros, and here he is. His straps aren't connected in the back so that they're more flexible, and he's just one of the cutest things I think I've ever made. I did stick with the Baby Safe eyes. They aren't even, but like straight on you can't even see his eyes, so I don't think that matters. I did make the buttons functional, so you can take the overalls on and off, and I'm pretty proud of them because I freehanded them, and I suck at making wearables. So if I can make tiny little wearables for my stuffed animals, I think that's gonna be great practice for when I want to start making like bigger wearables for my kids. But he's like one of the cutest things. Ooh. What in the hell? See, this is what happens when you look closely at your work. Sometimes you catch something. I don't know what I did. Oh, I know what I did. When you are putting in the ends, like tucking them in, I tucked them into an adjacent stitch. So I saw the acrylic yarn wrap over a stitch. Now I get to put it back. All right, that was all fixed. Easy fix. I was scared that I had taken the two ends and knotted around a stitch, and then it was going to create like a dent in the back of his head, and that would have not been fun. But here he is. I don't know what to name him. The pattern book that I was using, I can't find it, so never mind. He does have a name in the pattern book, but obviously he's just gonna be called, you know, Baby Safe Rhino when he's on my table, because the parents or the baby young kid can name him for themselves. But he's absolutely adorable. I know I said I wouldn't do any more after that rhino, but I think I'm going to spin the wheel again and see what our fourth pattern is, just to make this video a little bit longer. For this last and final pattern that we'll be doing, we're going to be using the 9 months to crochet pattern book, and this one has 25 patterns in total. So let's pop over to my number generator and see which number we'll be getting. Out of 25 patterns, we'll be using number 9. So this is the 9 months to crochet pattern book, and we're going to be crocheting this motif basket. completed the baby basket. I know my outfit is like the same in 2 or 3 other clips, and this is editing me from another day, filling in all of the lost footage. So bear with me. So I chose to make the baby motif basket out of a Bernat variegated blanket yarn. And it's kind of cute, although I don't know if it's supposed to hang on the wall. If it's supposed to hang on the wall, it's not a good basket. Like, it's anything with weight is gonna fall. It does dome a bit. Obviously the ends aren't weaved in yet. I'm doing that currently, but this one was okay. I didn't crochet it the way that the pattern was asking, because the pattern was doing the whole chain 1 to start a new round, and I prefer working in the round. It also had the whole chain 3 and crochet into the hole. And I don't like that way of crocheting. I like starting a magic circle or a magic ring. So I just did it my own way, and it turned out fine. Probably gonna give this like a 1, maybe a 2, because I'm never gonna use something like this. I don't even want to sell it. But I think what I could do is finish it up and then have this be like the basket to hold little goodies. So maybe like do a gender neutral baby shower gift basket. Like maybe it's like a $40 thing. So it has all the stuff in it that equals $40. So like I could put in a baby safe turtle. I could put in like a little burp rag, a washcloth, things like that, and just add to it. And then, I don't know, sell it like that. Or I could also just put it in like my misfit area. I've seen a lot of creators do misfit bins, and I really like that idea. I've never crocheted enough individual pieces to create a misfit bin, but I think for this fall I'll have enough, since I'm taking 8 months to market prep, and this could be in one of the areas of misfit bins. Goodness gracious. Okay, and I think that is the last little bit in our video, which is crazy. So I completed 4 patterns that I had never done before, and honestly I liked the majority of them. I loved every single baby safe item. Like these guys are the cutest. They're so cute. I really hope that they find a home this year, but we'll see. I plan on doing market videos when market season starts up for me, but until then, thank you for stopping by and watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. So